So I was looking at a painting from a great-grandparent of mine, my great-grandfather, and I realized that I haven't done much on my drawing lesson. So I kind of wanted to go over a couple of rules that just burned into my mind whenever I took my art classes. At least art history really burned them in as well. So those two elements that are just crisp in my mind are Sfumato and Chiaroscuro. Just because they sound so cool, I think is one of the main reasons I remembered them. So I forgive my spelling. I'm not sure if I can spell this right. Chiaroscuro. That's what I'm looking for. So if we go to Chiaroscuro on Wikipedia, just ignoring all the text, you can already see a pattern inside of each one of these images. They have very high contrast. The light and dark are just kind of really harsh on you. Though they have color, most of them. You can have chiaroscuro without color, with just grayscale. You can really get a focal point in these in a chiaroscuro. You really can push the focal point. So by just stepping back, and I don't know if I can zoom out on these things. Yeah, by stepping back and making these things thumbnails, you can really just point out the focal points. You can definitely tell baby Jesus in this one is a focal point, his contrast around him. You would have a secondary focal point of his mother, Mary there. And if we go over to this side, Jesus again is a focal point. You can see how bright he is amongst that dark area. Whereas in this one, the focal point is not actually the characters. It is actually, what are these? Children? Little children's faces down here? Yeah. They are really the focal point inside of this image. So with chiaroscuro, it's just a very contrasty, I guess. With good contrast, you can really point out your focal point inside of a scene, inside of your composition, and that is one important aspect to really driving it down. And if you've done this before, didn't know what to call it, chiaroscuro, that's what it's called. So the second one, the second one here was Sfumato. Sfumato, no. What is it? Sfumato, I believe. Sfumato with a U. Okay, so in Sfumato, best known for obviously the Mona Lisa. Wow, I wish they had more pictures on there. Anyways, let's just go to images and check out some Sfumato. Alright, let's just say Mona Lisa, shall we? Mona Lisa. So Sfumato was kind of pretty much coined. People are idiots. Was kind of coined by Leonardo da Vinci. He brought up this gentle. This is why. If you have any questions about why this painting of all things, I mean, she has no eyebrows. She's my girlfriend's better kind of thing. If you have no idea why this is so famous, and no, it's not because people just keep repeating its name. The reason this is famous is for various reasons, such as Sfumato. You also have some other things that Leonardo da Vinci did, such as this bluing in the background as you get farther and farther. You look towards the mountains. This happens in real life. If you look towards the mountains or you look very far off in the distance, the objects that are farther and farther away, in this atmospheric perspective, remember that word, even though this is about Sfumato, this atmospheric perspective of it getting bluer as you go further on, is kind of another reason. So there's a bunch of stuff going on in this painting, but the keynote is Sfumato, and you get that really gentle blending. You don't have hard edges, though you can call this a hard edge around the corners. If you look into around her face and areas like that, you have this nice blending from area to area inside of her eyes and everywhere around. That is kind of, there's no harsh lines saying, it's kind of not like chiaroscuro where you have very harsh lines defining your point of focus and things like that. So two keywords that are just awesome to say. One is the Sfumato, which you can just say Mona Lisa and you'll remember it. And Chiaroscuro, if you've ever heard of botch, he's or if you've ever heard someone say, "Oh, they really botched that," look up botch. In fact, I could probably do it. Let's just go to Google. I think there's an E in that, maybe. No, that's batch. Man, botch. I can never get these. No, not batch file. I can never get these names right. Painting. Maybe there's a U. Botch. Botch. Bosch. Oh, no, I can't find it. Bosch. Well, I can't spell it. Okay, I found Bosch. It's B-O-S-C-H. Man, that's just confusing. So anyways, this is the famous painting that I know from Bosch, that I remember quite frankly the most because of this right portion over here. It gets pretty weird and crazy going on. Sorry about that. It gets pretty crazy over there. And whenever I think of Chiaroscuro, I see a little bit of Chiaroscuro going on up here. You have this very dark focal point here in the center with this, what is this? This tree human leg thing? Egg on a boat? So now you could probably start to understand this is also an important part of it. Now you can start to understand kind of what it means by you botched it. This is obviously a religious painting with kind of a depicted hell on the right, and damnation. Anyways, yes, that's Bosch, but Sfumato, think Mona Lisa and Chiaroscuro. Well, just remember very high contrast, and there's a few paintings on here if you want to look at them. Nativity at Night and is one that I guess I know more than the rest of these. But yeah, this is Chiaroscuro. So those are two things that just burned into my mind, which are good to know whenever you're painting or coming up with things. Finding your focal point through contrast or blending of light and shadow and how it all works. So yeah, hope you enjoyed.